Folks, newer subdivisions are taking the biggest hit. I'll get into that and then the latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending March the 12th, 2025. When I say newer subdivisions, I'm referring to 10 years or less. And so I'm going to share with you an observation. Have you noticed Mississauga versus Brampton and the Durham region that Mississauga has far fewer newer subdivisions? If you haven't, I'm telling you, as an observation, it's a fact. Mississauga has fewer newer subdivisions than these other two areas. Now, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Mississauga, in a sense, is kind of landlocked, right? To the south, you've got the lake. To the west, you have the city of Toronto. To the north, you have Brampton. And to the west, you have Oakville. So Mississauga, its boundaries are set, and there's not a lot of farmland in there or other type of land to build newer subdivisions. So Mississauga doesn't have as much space as, say, Brampton, where if you go north, the Brampton boundaries to the north have a ton of farmland. So Brampton north, and then you get into Caledon, lots of newer subdivisions that have been developed over the years. For Brampton, you can also go west. You'll see lots of newer subdivisions that have been developed and some in the process of being developed. Although construction has halted on a lot of them, they're in the process. And the same thing with the Durham region. You go along the 401 corridor, there's lots of properties, lots of homes, lots of industrials. That area is built up. And then to the south, you have the lake. You're not building out onto the lake. But to the north, lots of open land. Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, Oshawa, lots of construction has been happening over the years in the north. Lots of space. So those areas just have lots of newer subdivisions. And working with buyers and sellers in all these different areas, I do a lot of research. I do a lot of studying. We go to see a lot of different properties. And I'm sharing with you an observation that we have. It's these newer subdivisions, 10 years or less, that have taken the biggest hit when it comes to price depreciation. There's been homes, use Brampton as the example. There's properties that at the peak were selling $2 million, $2.3 million, that today are selling at $1.6, $1.5 million, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 depreciation in price. This is obviously a big problem. And I'm sharing this observation with you. You're seeing the same thing in the Durham region. There's homes. We recently saw a newer townhouse that was purchased. It was purchased resale when it was only about 1 year old, purchased for $1.2 million. Today is for sale for $900,000. In just a few short years, townhouse dropped 20, 25%, sometimes 30%. So I'm not sure 100% why this is happening. The older homes seem to have retained their value better. Yes, for sure. The older homes have also experienced a price decrease over the same time period. But it's these newer homes, the newer subdivisions, less than 10 years old, have taken the biggest beating. Wanted to share that observation with you. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, or you can go straight to tsre.ca. That'll also take you to my calendar. Book a time, date, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Folks, at the end of this show, there's going to be links to 2 awesome townhouses on the screen. Have a look. We're going to get started here. We're focused on the Peel and Durham region. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the data for Mississauga, for Brampton, and for Durham. For Durham, we're focused on Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as our Durham sample. Now, if we look at the price difference between Durham, Brampton, and Mississauga, there's a $278,000 price difference. It's normally somewhere around there, sometimes $300, sometimes $350. Let's get started. We're going to look at Mississauga for week ending March the 12th. 32 detached properties were sold. 2 of those were at $2 million or more. I'm not sure if if sales are trending up, down. It's difficult to say. Maybe up slightly overall, but not by much. Average sold price dropped way down to $1,401,000. I say way down relative to where we were before, but we've seen prices much lower than 1.4 before. But right now, it looks like overall prices in Mississauga for detached properties are trending downward slightly. But we're going to relook at that. Compared to last year, 1,401 is 5% lower than where prices were a year ago. The median price rounds off to 0% lower. It's 0% lower than where we were this time a year ago. So it's slightly lower, but it rounds off to no percentage change. The dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. And over the last 4 weeks or so, since about mid-February, looks like average price and median price is trending down slightly. 32 were sold, 19% sold at list price or more. Listings trending up, active listings trending up. Months of inventory sitting at 4.2. So we've seen it come down, up, down. I'm not sure kind of which way it's going, but overall, if we kind of look at the band between 5 and 3 months of inventory, chances are you're going to find yourself in a balanced market if you're selling or buying a detached property in Mississauga. Here's Brampton. 17 detached properties were sold. No properties sold at $2 million or more. Here's my comment on 17. It's low. It looks low. It feels low. If we look at the weeks between the last week of the year and the week between Christmas and New Year is our lowest sales week of the whole year, almost every year between Christmas and New Year. But we still sold 19 back then. And the week leading up to Christmas, it was 35. But between Christmas and New Year, we sold 19. We're March 12th, headed into the spring season, we would assume. 17. We had fewer sales now than between Christmas and New Year's. And a lot of people say, Christmas and New Year, who buys properties then? Well, more people bought properties then than they're buying right now. And these are detached properties. Average sold price coming down. It's now at $1,109,000. Keep in mind, 17, it's a very low sampling. Compared to last year, 1,109 is 6% lower than the same week a year ago. The median price is also 6% lower. Median price is at $1,060,000. Look like average prices were slowly trending up, but I think you're going to see them now come the other way. At least that's what the dotted line, the 4-week moving average, is showing us. 29% sold at list price or more. Listings climbing, active listings climbing. Months of inventory, with only 17 sales and more properties available for sale, it's going to take longer to sell everything out. And the way months of inventory works is it takes the current sales and assume that's it, that we're not going to increase or decrease. At the current sales rate, it would take us 11.1 months to sell out of all the properties available for sale. Well, that's a high number. Here's Durham, and again, it's Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby that we're looking at. So 35 detached properties were sold. No property sold at $2 million or more. 35, I would say, it's kind of flat. We haven't seen much movement in sales volumes. Average sold price is $1,123,000. And I would say the last 4 weeks, it's kind of flat when it comes to prices, average prices. 1123 is 6% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 3% lower. Median price is $1,085,000. The dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. Sure, it goes up, goes down, but overall, I would say it's kind of flat. 35, we said were sold. 40% of those sold at list price or more. It's quite competitive in the Durham region. Listings on the rise, active listings trending upwards. Months of inventory, a little higher. It was trending down, but now we're sitting at 2.6 months of inventory. So still, it's low compared to all other parts of the GTA, but a little bit higher than where we were the last few weeks. Here's a quick summary. It's going to be pretty much a balanced market, although in the Durham region, you will be under some competition with some of the properties that you see there. But overall, it's either going to be a balanced market or a buyer's market, especially if you're shopping or selling in Brampton. Thanks for watching. Now check out these 2 awesome townhouses we've got for sale. Have a great day.